Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and how exactly does principal paydown actually work? In this video, I'm going to break the whole thing down, And when I was in college, I always asked very simple questions because I knew for a fact understanding the basics was going to help me understand the entire thing a lot better. And by the way, principal paydown is very important because basically it lets you know exactly how much money the borrower is making from you, and on top of that, how do you finish with that loan a lot faster, and also how do you save a ton of money, especially when it comes to a mortgage or a personal loan, or for example even having credit card debt or a student loan. Okay, principal paydown is involved in all of those ways, and that's why it's so important to understand it fully. Now, if you guys are new here, I post videos literally every single day, so make sure to also subscribe and hit the bell to get notified, and on top of that, also destroy the like button because it does help a lot with the channel, so thank you guys so much. Now, the very first thing is this, guys, okay? Tell me, what exactly is principal paydown? How exactly does it work? Well, in reality, guys, principal paydown is you making payments and actually paying the actual money you borrowed. Tell me, what do you mean? Every time I make a payment, I'm actually paying the money I borrowed. No, not really, okay? Because here's exactly how a loan usually works. Usually, you have three main parts. The first part is basically the money you borrowed. So every time you make a payment, usually you want some of the money that you actually borrowed to be paid down. That's called principal paydown. Paying the actual money you borrow. So basically, if I owe you $1 and I pay you a penny every single day, I want to make sure a percentage of that penny is going towards that dollar that I actually owed you. On top of that, you also have the profit that the person is going to make by lending you that money, and that's called the interest. So in every single loan, usually you have the capital payments, the money you borrowed, and on top of that, the interest, the profits for that lender. And lastly and thirdly, you also have the fees, like the origination fee, the earning penalty fee, or this fee here or that fee here. Okay, it's all about three things: capital, the money you owe, or principal. On top of that, profits, aka interest, the actual money the lender is going to make by lending you that money. On top of that, the fees they charge you to make sure if you pay early, they get some money back, or for example, they make some money up front when they actually make the loan to you. Origination fee, we have this fee and this fee over here. In reality, it's all just fees that they make up and stuff like that, okay? And I hate fees altogether. However, guys, okay, I want to use a very basic, real example. This way you understand exactly how this actually works, okay? Now I want to use a very basic example. This way you know exactly how this works overall, and then I'll tell you exactly how to apply this when it comes to a mortgage, okay? Now, let's say, for example, my name is TommyBryson, and by the way, it actually is, okay? So, kind of real story, but not really. But let's say, for example, I want to go ahead and I want to buy a camera. Now, this camera costs around $10,000, and I have a friend. And this friend has money because I don't have money, okay? And I want to buy this camera. And I say, hey, Jimmy, is it okay if I borrow $10,000 from you? He says, yeah, I'll lend it to you, but let's sign a promissory note. And let's give you a deadline and also a payment schedule, an amortization schedule, okay? And on top of that, I will charge you interest. And on top of that, I will charge you fees. So in this contract, everything is included, from the fees, the interest, his profits, and also the capital, the money I actually owe, and also the payment schedule, okay? That's the whole idea here. So, and by the way, let's use a real picture here, because by the way, if you don't know, there are actually cameras out there that do cost $10,290. So how do I find out exactly how much money do I pay Jimmy and all that stuff, okay? In reality, all I have to do is go to Google and type in loan calculator. And that's it, okay? And then you want to click the first link, the one by Bankrate, okay? And once you click it, it'll take you right here. Now again, the loan is for $10,000. That's the entire idea here. So again, I want to go right here. I want to say, hey, I'm going to borrow $10,000 from Jimmy. On top of that, I'm going to pay it back in 5 years, okay? Or for example, 60 payments. 60 monthly payments make up 5 years worth of payments. On top of that, Jimmy said he's going to charge me interest. I asked him how much. He said, hey, Tommy, I'm going to charge you 18%. By the way, Jimmy's a shark, okay? So Jimmy is charging me a ton of money here. So again, let's put in here 18%. Let's calculate it. It means every single month, I have to pay $253.93. Okay, that's the idea. But on top of that, guess what, guys? Okay, over the life of the loan, Jimmy has made $5,236 if I just pay him this amount right here and don't pay anything else. Now, let's go right here to the show amortization schedule. And it'll tell me exactly how my payments are actually amortized, how they actually go through. So right here, if I scroll down, here's the idea. When I make a $253 payment, well, only $103 goes towards the actual money I actually owe Jimmy, towards that $10K. On top of that, $150 goes towards Jimmy's profit. That's how it basically works. So in the beginning of the loan, Jimmy's making more money than I'm actually paying down. That's how crazy this actually is. So the idea is, hey, Jimmy, I want to pay more money towards the loan. I want to pay more money towards my principal pay down, my actual loan, my actual $10,000 loan. How do you do this? Well, Jimmy has to say yes, and on top of that, it should have been included in the contract. Okay, this way everything is taken care of. But by the way, guys, just so you guys know, okay, it's gonna take almost, for example, I don't know, like somewhere around until April 2022, almost a year and a half, to actually be paying more money towards the capital than Jimmy's making in profit. So if I want to avoid this, all I have to do is this. I say, for example, hey, I want to pay extra money. So go right here to the add extra payment calculator, and let's say I want to pay an extra $400 every single month towards my actual loan. So in this case, I type in $400 here, and it'll tell me exactly what's going to happen. Well, in reality, Jimmy's only going to make $1,445 now, because basically I'm paying off early. On top of that, instead of taking 5 years, well, I'm only going to take around like a year and a half, and that's it, okay? This way I save a ton of money on interest and also time. That's the whole idea here. Now, there is one problem, guys, okay? It turns out that Jimmy had a little clause in the contract saying, hey, Tommy, if you pay me early, I'm going to charge you 2% of the actual loan. So in reality, I had to pay Jimmy 2% of the loan. So 2% of 10K is around $200. So by basically making extra payments towards the principal, I finish early, I pay less money in interest, and Jimmy's also making less. But usually they have something included saying, hey, if you pay early, we charge you money. But even then, it's going to save you more money than it would by just carrying on with the loan, okay? And by the way, me and Jimmy have not spoken since, okay? That's the whole idea here. But I'm just kidding, okay? I never borrowed this much money for any camera or anything like that, okay? I pay cash for these things, okay? Now, that's how basically principal pay down works, interest charge, and on top of that, how you actually understand exactly how everything actually works. But again, okay, you have to have everything very clear when you're making a contract, whether that's for a mortgage, a credit card, a personal loan, a car loan, whatever it is. Because sometimes the lender does not allow you to make extra payments towards the principal. So keep that in mind, okay? Now, Tommy, all right, I understand this. I get this now. In the beginning, they make more money than I'm actually paying. So I want to pay extra money. That way, I'm finished a lot faster. Yeah, that's true. But how does that apply to a mortgage? Because a mortgage is a much bigger loan, a much larger loan, a bigger deal. And it's also with a bank and not with Jimmy. So how exactly is it going to work? Well, the answer is, it's kind of like the same exact thing. So again, the response is, we want to go ahead and use another real example. Well, my name is TommyBryson, and I want to go ahead and buy a property. Now, this property costs around $300,000. I'm going to put down 20%, and on top of that, I want to make sure the mortgage, the taxes, insurance, and also maintenance and HOA fee do not surpass 33% of my income every single month. Those are my rules. So what I want to do is this. I want to head over to Google again and type in again loan calculator, okay, for home, okay? And here's a link for the bank rate one, my favorite calculator out there. Now, again, I'm going to type in everything inside here. The loan I want is for a house that's going to cost me $300,000. On top of that, I'm putting down 20%. So that's around 60K. That's what I recommend. On top of that, the loan length is for 30 years. A long time if you ask me. And the interest rate is pretty low because basically, you guys know, rates are pretty low right now. But they might change in the future because that's how things work, okay? Now, the idea is this, guys, okay? I'm going to be paying $1,515 every single month towards this mortgage. However, we don't know what percentage is going towards the principal, the money I actually owe, and what percentage is going towards the profit, the interest the bank is actually going to make, okay? So how do we get that? We want to go right here to Amortization Schedule, and it'll tell us exactly how everything is broken down. Well, the truth is this, guys. In the beginning, when I'm paying $1,024 towards the mortgage, guess what? Only $400 is going towards the principal, the money I owe, and around $620 is going towards the profit for the bank. That's the core idea. And usually, what you want to see is this, okay? You want to see your loan balance go down, you want to pay less interest, and you want to pay more money towards the principal. This way you're done a lot faster. That's the whole idea. You pay extra towards the principal, your loan balance goes down, and the interest you actually pay also goes down. That's how things basically works, and that's usually how things are supposed to work. However, in the beginning, you're paying a lot more money towards interest than you are towards capital. It's going to last a long time, and also the bank is going to make a lot of money from you. So, if I were to do this, okay, this entire plan that the bank wants me to do, in reality, can you guess how much money they're going to make? The answer is very simple. Just scroll all the way down, okay? And right here it is, guys, okay? Over the life of the loan, they're going to make around $129,000 from me. A lot of money, if you ask me. $129,000 by giving me a loan of around $240K, because basically I did put down $60K for that loan. That is a ton of money in profits. However, okay, tell me, what if they allow you to make principal pay down payments? The answer is, well, things are going to be very, very different. Now, my rule is this, guys, okay? Whenever I'm going to buy a property, again, it is not going to exceed 30% of my income, including the mortgage, the taxes, the insurance, HOA fee, and also the maintenance. So in this case, if I'm going to buy a house that's going to cost me $1,515, that means, for example, that my income has to be around, well, $1,515. My income has to be around, here we go, around $4,590. And all I did was basically divide the number I'm paying by 0.33, 33%. That way I know exactly what my income has to be. Now, my rule is this. I want to pay an extra 15% towards this mortgage. That way I'm done a lot faster. So what's 15% of this? Multiply by 0.15%. The answer is I'm paying an extra $688 a month. That's the core idea here. So now let's go back to the calculator and type that in and see exactly what happens, okay? And the answer is, guys, okay, I'm going to make an extra payment of around $688. What exactly is going to happen here? The answer is, well, I'm going to finish in 2035. That means I finish in around 16 years sooner. I got a 30-year mortgage, but I finished 16 years sooner. That's awesome. On top of that, the bank, well, let's go back up here. The bank is only going to make $58,000 instead of $129,000. On top of that, in the beginning, when I'm paying, for example, $1,712, I'm actually paying $1,000 towards the principal and also $620 towards interest. Meaning, right off the bat, I pay more money than the bank actually makes. This way, I get to finish a lot faster. However, guys, okay, I do have to be 100% honest here. Not every single lender is going to allow this, okay? You have to call them and ask, hey, do you allow principal only payments also with this mortgage? If they say yes, then great. Also ask, what is the penalty for paying the mortgage off early? They might tell you 2%. That's usually what the average is. But even then, you're going to save a ton more money by paying it off early either way. And usually, after 3 to 5 years, they don't charge you that anymore. What they want is to make some money. That way they can justify the loan. On top of that, sometimes they're not going to automatically apply the entire capital payment, okay? They won't do it. So you got to call and say, hey, what's the process so I can go ahead and make an extra payment just towards the money I actually owe, the actual capital, the actual principal. And they will tell you sometimes is, hey, you gotta call us and tell us exactly what you want to do. Inconvenient, I know. Or sometimes they might say, hey, you gotta send us a check saying, hey, only capital, also inconvenient. But sometimes the good lenders say, hey, it's all good, just pay and automatically we will adjust it. I like that. But again, remember, okay guys, when you're looking for a loan, you are the person in charge. So go out there and find a lender that fits you and exactly what you want. So overall here, principal pay down on a mortgage basically means, hey, you found a lender that accepts it. And when you pay extra money, it goes towards the money you actually owe. This way, you save money on interest, and you also don't have the bank making a ton of money from you, and also you finish a lot faster. However, there is a warning that I do want to give you guys, okay? If you do have other debt, like high interest debt, for example, a credit card, a car loan, a student loan debt, a personal loan, the answer is you want to pay that off first. Why? Because basically, just like Jimmy, they might charge you 18% or 35%, while the mortgage might only charge you 3% to 4%. So the answer is you want to pay the debt with the highest APR first. Usually, that's going to be the other debt. Once you're done with that, then you move on to, let me pay extra towards my mortgage and put it towards the principal pay down. That's the ideal right there. All right. Now, guys, that's why usually when you're going to buy a house, you want to make sure you're debt free first. Now, by the way, I have a full plan on this. I'll link it down below. That way you know exactly how everything works. Now, guys, that is about it for this video. Comment down below if it was helpful. And again, the simple things usually are the most important things, okay? Saved you 16 years just by paying an extra 15% towards the mortgage. That's how cool this actually is. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. As always, like this video if you liked it. On top of that, also, if you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified. And on top of that, if you want to text me or talk to me one-on-one, join my Patreon, link down below, or send me a DM on Instagram at TommyBryson. And before I go, if you want to watch a full video on basically how to save money for real estate and all that stuff, well, here's that video right here. And click my face right now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And as always, peace.